doesn't type it, redcarpetcrash.com. Chlöe Sevigny has hit the contact button, so we've got to go. It's time to go. Let's do this thing.
Let's do this.
Had a fantastic premiere last night with Mr. Nice, and it's your second film in the festival with Barry Munday, and enthusiastic crowd reactions to both. You're sitting in the theater or waiting for everybody to hit the right beats. How did the audience react as far as you're concerned?
I was so pleasantly surprised with the audiences. I mean, I knew that Austin was like a young people's town, college town. There'd be a lot of enthusiasm in the audience, but I didn't think that they would react with such zeal. I mean, it was great. Of course, that's what you want the most when you go to film festivals, for the audiences to fall in love with the film and get it. And the sound was really bad in that theater in the Paramount. I was afraid people weren't going to hear things, but really they didn't miss a beat. It was so amazing. I'm so thrilled. Do you think it was because it was mostly young people?
I thought it was a decent mix because the crowd was an interesting mix for both this film and Etienne Sauré's film. Dirty Pictures, both dealing with various elements of the drug culture from different angles of it. But I thought it was a very interesting mix of people. But that's the great thing about South by Southwest, in my opinion, is you've got a lot of divergent people who just love film and all of its incarnations.
That's what it seemed like. You don't have the jaded audiences that are out to knock you down. They're just psyched to be here. They
and it's not like
movies,
Sundance where the weather's so much better too. You're not slipping on ice every time you're trying to get from screening to screening.
So you think that makes people be in a better mood?
Absolutely. Good gosh, yes. Tell me about how you were approached for the project, because Reese knew the family,
I know, yeah. He's known him for years and years. Actually, Reese and I share a manager in Hollywood, and we'd met over the years at different functions, birthday parties and whatnot of our shared manager. And I guess when Reese, got the go-ahead with the project and started thinking about Judy, he thought of me, and so our mutual manager sent me the script and said, Reese wants you to consider this part, it's, kind of small or whatever else, but, he really thinks that you could add something to the picture. So I read it, and then I met with Bernard at a hotel in Hollywood, and his enthusiasm and his vision for the film really was what made me want to agree to be on the picture.
He comes at the period piece in an interesting role. Instead of trying to recreate all the sets from the 70s, you shot the majority of it in green screen. Is that an issue for you when you're trying to...
No, that was actually when we met. He brought his laptop and he showed me all this archival footage that he had compiled, and he's like, instead of spending whatever money on getting these cars or the street, we're just going to superimpose you in here. And I was like, it sounds like so much fun. I'd never done any green screen work before, and I don't know, his enthusiasm, as I said before, and these beautiful shots that he had, and beautiful footage of Howard and Judy that he showed me, and his idea of kind of underplaying period, and by showing period very subtly through music and changes in tone, and the color of the film stock and things like that. And I just thought it was an interesting approach to making a film that spans decades, instead of having title cards, we're here now, this date, whatever, it just seems like a fresh approach to a biopic.
Not only with that approach, but also Bernard was telling us that he doesn't do table reads. There wasn't a whole lot of prep getting into...
No, there was zero prep. Zero. There wasn't even a blocking.
Wow.
I mean, there were some nights we were doing the scene and we weren't even allowed in the room until we started shooting. I mean, it was bananas.
But I mean,
seriously, I've never worked like that before. We didn't even block a scene. I don't think we blocked a single scene. Who works like that? This madman.
But I mean, coming from, you're several seasons into Big Love, in which fantastic ensemble cast, great cast with Barry Munday, working with Patrick Wilson, and now
Judy Greer.
Oh, and the amazing Judy Greer. She's got to have it. This has to be a breakout.
I know. She's so fabulous. I thought Jawbreaker should have been a breakout.
Right. It's all the people that we appreciate, and you just want to grab people by the shoulder, shake, and say, "Why are you not paying attention to this?" But I think that Mr. Nice falls in the same category with that, though too. No distribution deal yet, but I think American audiences need to see this movie and wrap their brains around it.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think Reese's performance in this film, like Patrick Wilson and Barry Munday, really elevates the film to a whole nother other level. I mean, of course, as an actor, you always want to work with people that keep you on your toes and inspire you and challenge you. And Reese was all that and more. I think his performance is just baffling. He is that person. He is Mr. Nice.
You carry these characters through a lot of tumult, turmoil, however you want to say it. When you're coming after a role like this, do you want to just leave yourself in the moment for it, or because Bernard's way of shooting almost makes that a de rigueur to begin with?
Yeah. You want to leave yourself in the moment for it. So, I remember being in the trailer, and whenever we're shooting certain scenes, I would look back over both their books and try and wrap my head around where these people were in that time in their lives and how they were feeling. And it's so hard playing someone that's still alive, and especially when they're not famous. You have such responsibility, or I feel a great responsibility towards them, and that can be quite nerve-wracking. So I hope she's proud of the film. I met her at the end of shooting, Judy, and she's so lovely and so warm. And I wish I had been able to see her before and gotten more glimpses of her personality and her warmth and her maternal nature.
But you run the risk of either doing a caricature or an impersonation when you get to know them too much, though.
Yeah, Bernard didn't want me to meet her. I don't know. There was a lot of weird politics.
Is there a director or we'll go with director, one director, because you've worked with some amazing people over a short period of time. Is there somebody who you want to work with, you want to look at the camera and say, I want to work with you?
Well, I have a list of about 50, but I remember I gave it to my agents when I first started acting after kids. And surprisingly, I've checked off a few of them, which I'm really proud of course.
And you should be.
But there's so many more. There's so many out there. So many. I don't know. I can't think of the one be all and it's all. But I am developing a project, and I want Bennett Miller to direct it.
That would be a great fit. I'd love to see that happen. Fabulous.
But I haven't approached it yet. I'm scared.
Hear that, Bennett? Return her call.
Please.
Chlöe Sevigny, it's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Thank you.